What's going on, everybody? My name is Sam and you're watching Casbah's Camp, and today I'm going to be doing a little more squirrel hunting. The other day ago I was using my 12 gauge pump action. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description below. Today I was wanting to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use a 12 gauge break barrel. For the people who don't know what that means, that basically means you only have one shot, so you have to open up the barrel itself and reload it. Unlike a pump action where you have multiple shots. I've come to another hunting location that I've definitely seen squirrels at before, so I'm going to go ahead and get this camera mounted up and head on down the trail and see if we can get some squirrels down. Thanks for watching. So this particular shotgun is a Pardner model, 12 gauge, 3-inch, mod 3. And we're going to be shooting number 6s today. Alright, let's go ahead and get down the trail. Hello there, little fella. Got up in his shell. I'm gonna set him next to the water. As you can see, we're in prime squirrel territory. It's all about being patient and moving slowly. Here in a second, I'm about to go ahead and sound off a squirrel call. Squirrels are quick and they are also alert, so staying stealthy is a key part of squirrel hunting. You have to keep your eyes peeled for any movement in the trees or on the ground. Here's where the real challenge begins. Squirrel hunting requires a lot of patience and focus. You need to stay quiet and still, listening for any sounds that might give away a squirrel's location. It's basically a waiting game, but that's what makes it so rewarding. Notice how I'm carefully making my way down the trail, trying to avoid any big branches, sticks, or big clumps of leaves. Every step counts. If you're too loud, you could scare off any nearby squirrels. So I'm keeping an eye on the treetops, as well as scanning the ground for any signs of activity. Now we're getting into some action. I just spotted a squirrel moving across the trail and go behind some trees. This is where all that patience can pay off if everything aligns. I carefully take aim and prepare for a clear shot, but unfortunately I don't see the squirrel anymore once it moved behind the trees. As I continue to scan the area for movement, I am slowly making my way to where the squirrel was last seen, hoping to flush it out for maybe another shot. I've made my way to the cluster of trees where I last saw the squirrel. I'm staying quiet and moving slowly, as well as scanning the trees and the ground, but I did not see the squirrel again. Tracking a squirrel in the trees can take a lot of patience. I'm always on the lookout for any flicker of movement or a twitching tail in the canopy. Sometimes that will just give them away. Staying quiet is also crucial. Making any loud noises like stepping on leaves or sticks or making sudden movements can easily scare them off. I'm trying to make each step count, trying to be as stealthy as possible while keeping my eyes on the treetops and also scanning the ground. Sometimes it can help if you just pause for a minute and let things settle. Squirrels are super alert and they're skittish, so even small sounds and movements can make them jumpy. Hunting squirrels is all about patience and strategy. You have to be thinking ahead, trying to figure out where they might be or where they're headed to. It's not just about moving forward, it's also about reading the environment and adjusting to what you find. I continue to make my way down the trail to the back field that is planted with corn. There is a tree line that surrounds this field. My plan is to walk the tree line and search for squirrels. As I'm making my way along the tree line, I notice something in the far field. I pause for a moment to get my binoculars to take a look to see what it is. It turns out to be 2 tom turkeys. They were grazing on the edge of the field. At this point, I also heard something in the trees down to my left, so I decided to sit down to see if anything would come out. About 2 minutes later, 3 deer came out of the trees and saw me sitting there. At first, they couldn't quite tell what I was, though. Eventually, I think the older one must have caught my scent or seen a little bit of movement and let out a snort wheeze to warn the others. But the other deer didn't even seem to notice me right away, so they didn't even run off immediately. As I was watching the deer through my binoculars, I heard some noise in the branches, so I looked up to the trees on my left and I saw some movement. I couldn't tell if it was a squirrel or a bird at first, but it was getting closer to me, and I saw it was a squirrel on the branch. The squirrel is about to pass by me now, and I'm thinking this is my only chance. I am sitting down, and the squirrel is behind me, so taking the shot over my shoulder is going to be a tricky one. With the sound off of that shot, the turkey and the deer are definitely gone now. But I never heard the squirrel hit the ground, so I was thinking maybe I missed, but I also never heard it run away, so I'm wondering what's going on. So I decided to sit still and just listen for a second. After not hearing anything, I got up and went to the trees where I shot the squirrel at so I could look to see if I hit it.
There he is. We got him. There he is. I thought I missed because I never heard him hit the ground. But he's hanging from the limb right there, guys. We got him. Squirrel. Well, not squirrel down, but we got him. Let's see if we can get him out this limb. Oh man, when we first showed up on this field, there was 2 good-sized toms over there feeding that field, and then I sat down right here and there was 3 does that came out of the tree line right there. And as there was the does and the turkeys, I heard something up in that tree, but I never saw nothing. And then he came right behind me. I'm talking literally right in this tree behind me. I don't know, 10 foot here. I was just able to turn around and get a shot on him right over my shoulder. He's pretty tore up, she rather, but we'll still make the most of it and get most of the meat we can off of it. Well, we got a success at least. Bare minimal, we got one with the brake barrel, guys. Go ahead and put him in the game bag. That was a pretty tough shot to get over my shoulder, and it was relatively close. I really didn't want to take a shot that close, but I was thinking if I didn't, I was going to go ahead and lose my opportunity. So I took the shot. So we'll go ahead and make the most of that squirrel and pick all the meat that we can off of it. But it definitely put a hurting on that squirrel. I slowly continued my way around the field, watching the trees and watching the ground, but I never spotted another squirrel down here, so I headed back to the main trail to walk it again. So now I'm making my way back down the original trail, still looking for squirrels in the trees and on the ground. I only spotted 2 more, but unfortunately they were out of shotgun range, and by the time I got into range, they went into hiding and never showed their faces again. So I decided to go ahead and wrap it up for the evening, go home, get some rest, and try again at another location tomorrow. Now it's the next day and I've come to the next spot, and I've got a good feeling about this place. There's a lot of hardwood and nut trees around like oak and walnuts, plus there's plenty of trails and hills for hunting. I'm already hearing some distant sounds of small animals crunching leaves and stuff, but I'm going to keep on moving down the trail and stay alert, ready to harvest another squirrel.
As I'm making my way down the trail, I stopped because I heard some noises in the dry leaves to my right over in the trees. So I'm scanning to see if I can find a squirrel, and I eventually see him, but he's too far behind the trees for me to get a clear shot. So I'm trying to stay still and quiet in hopes that I can get a better shot. The squirrel finally made its way to a limb that overhangs the trail, and I can see him, so I aim to take the shot. As you just saw, I shot it out of the tree and it hit the ground, but it ran off. The first shot wasn't vital. It was just out of shotgun range, so now I've decided to go ahead and track it down to see if I can bag it. So I'm making my way into the woods where I last saw it run into, looking for any sign of blood or movement of the squirrel trying to flee. After just a couple minutes, I spotted it, so I'm going to take aim to see if we can get it down.
Got him. We got him. We got him. He's down. Alrighty, guys. Another female. Let's put it in the game bag. I'm thinking I'm hearing another one. Let's see if we can get another. Yes! We got another.
I waited around looking and listening for another squirrel in this area, but eventually I didn't see any, so I decided to pick up and head on down the trail again. I have now made my way to another patch of hardwoods. I am going to take off the trail now and go up into these woods and find a good spot to sit and wait and listen for a squirrel to come by. I found this big laid down tree. It'll make for a perfect spot to sit, wait, and listen, as well as watch for some squirrels. Let's see if we can find one. I sat and called, waited, watched, and listened in this spot for a good while. Never saw any squirrels, heard a lot of movement, so I decided to pick up and head down the hill. I'm pretty sure I spotted some movement in a tree close by, so now I'm trying to keep my eyes on the treetops where I spotted the movement, but making my way closer to it to get into shotgun range. I have now spotted a squirrel high up in the tree, but it is moving behind branches and behind foliage, so I can't get a clear shot quite yet. I am trying to be quiet and still and let the squirrel expose itself to me, but at this point I see another squirrel that has come closer to the tree. I'm going to take a shot.
Got him. Got him.
The The squirrel definitely hit the ground and did not move. We got him. But at this point, I know there's another one up there, so I'm not going to retrieve it yet. I'm hoping the second one will show itself and I can get a shot on it as well. After waiting and looking for about 10 minutes, I seen it a few times, but only for a split second, not long enough to get a clear shot. It kept on hopping back and forth from a couple of branches, but a big clump of leaves was hiding it mostly. I kept on seeing its furry tail twitching, so I decided to take an aim at that and see if I could hit it. The crosshair that you see on the screen is not bore-sighted perfectly to the bead on the shotgun, but I'm pretty sure I missed anyways. So now I'm moving into a better position to get a shot on a squirrel, and that's where I see more than one, and this is where the action takes off. I took aim and fired at 2 different squirrels, but I'm pretty sure they were just out of shotgun range and there was enough twigs and foliage in the way between me and them that they were safe and didn't get hit. But I definitely had to give it a shot. After calling and waiting for a few more minutes to see if I could get another shot at them, I'm pretty sure they were scared off into hiding. So I made my way to the area where I seen the first squirrel hit the ground.
We got him, guys. A little bit small, but we got him. This one's a male. Juvenile male, it looks like. Second squirrel of the day.
Well, guys, that was some quick action. Saw a few squirrels there and blasted at a few. Ended up getting one. I want to say that the others I was shooting at was just a wee bit out of range, or I was just a wee off target. But either way, we ended up getting 2 squirrels total. I'm heading back to the vehicle now. I'm still going to be looking around in the trees because we still got some shooting light left, so you never know when we might see one. Didn't see any more on the way back to the vehicle, so I'm going to go ahead and call it that. Okay, guys, if you enjoy these hunting challenge videos, let me know in the comments below. But until next time, please consider liking, sharing with friends and family, and subscribing if you haven't already. Sam out.